Kaitaia and Hamilton 26, 28 the high in Whangarei, Auckland 27. Tauranga and Whakatane, showers with a chance of thunderstorms, clearing tonight, 25. Rotorua, showers, could be thunderstorms, clearing at night, 23. Gisborne, Napier and Hastings, a few showers, possible thunderstorms and downpours from late afternoon. It all clears after dark in Gisborne, easing in the Bay cities, and all three have a high of 27. Taupo and Taumarunui, showers, chance of thunderstorms and downpours from afternoon, clearing tonight. 24 in Taupo, 27 for Taumarunui. New Plymouth, some showers, might get thunderstorms too, easing late afternoon, 25. Whanganui and Palmerston North, a few showers, possibly heavy or thundery this afternoon, 27. Masterton, the odd shower, could be heavy after midday, 31 degrees today. Levin, Kapiti and Wellington fine, apart from some morning and evening cloud. Levin 26, Kapiti and Wellington 25. Blenheim fine, but the chance of an afternoon shower, 29. Nelson, blue skies and 27. Westport fine and 25. Greymouth and Hokitika, a sunny day, cloud this evening, 24. Kaikoura, morning cloud and then fine, with still the chance of a shower, 25. Christchurch, sunny by afternoon, 26. Ashburton, morning cloud burns off, a high of 31. Timaru, cloud this morning then sunny, 29. Oamaru, fine by afternoon, 27. Wanaka, fine day, cloud this evening, 31. Queenstown, sunny till evening cloud, 29 degrees. Alexandra, blue skies, 34. Dunedin, morning cloud then fine, 29. Invercargill, fine and the chance of an evening shower, a high of 30 degrees today. It's 21.5 minutes to 8.
You're listening to Morning Report. Now, while the Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern will be spending 5 days at Waitangi commemorations this year, the opposition leader Bill English will once again stay away altogether. However, Mr English will be going to Rātana celebrations this week. And last year, as Prime Minister, he was lauded for his use of te reo at the event. But last week, he said it wasn't the government's job to keep the language alive. Mr English is with us now in the Wellington studio. Kia ora, good morning.
Good morning, Susie.
And Happy New Year. Now, you're not going to Waitangi. What does that say about the relationship between the National Party and Māori?
Oh, look, we've had a good, robust relationship with Māori over our time in government, got an awful lot done working, particularly with the iwi Leaders Group. I think because we recognise their increasing independence, forward-looking, business focus, getting benefits for the members of the iwi. I think the new government's going to struggle a bit with that. The Labour Party historically is prone to try and control the Māori institutions, and now that it's won all the seats back, I'm sure they'll be expecting Māori to line up with government objectives. But look, they've got their rangatiratanga, they're independent, they're doing a lot of business among themselves, and there'll be a bit of tension there.
But Jacinda Ardern going to Waitangi for 5 days, which is a pretty long time in itself, you're giving this up essentially to Labour, aren't you?
Oh, look, that's the new government, it's the Crown. They'll be celebrating getting all the Māori seats back. I think they're probably hoping they'll get some progress with Ngāpuhi and their settlement, because it is the outstanding large settlement. But Ngāpuhi's claim is essentially for some version of sovereignty, and there's deep divisions among them. I don't think they'll be solved by the Prime Minister spending a couple of days there.
Well, it's more than a couple of days, it is 5, but you're not thinking this is any kind of sea change after the relationship with the Māori Party clearly was thrown out at the last election, and the situation for Labour is that Māori really have come back in behind them?
Oh, if anything, there's a risk of things going backwards. As I said, Labour have a much more government-dominated view of how Māori should behave, and they've already expressed that, made it clear they don't regard the iwi Leaders Group as being legitimate or doing the job well. I'd absolutely dispute that. I think they've done a very good job in progressing Māori interests and interests of New Zealand. So I think there'll be, if there's anything, there's a risk that the progress that's been made over the last 10 years will drift into a fog of politics as the big egos try to exert control.
So you see no benefit, clearly, for you going to Waitangi, but you also think that Jacinda Ardern's making a mistake?
Oh, no, look, I hope it works. As Prime Minister, I decided not to go last year, and I think that did prompt the trustees of the treaty grounds to make a change, and that is to do what we'd suggested for a number of years, that is give Te Tii Marae a miss, because there's too much unnecessary trivial controversy around that, and go to the treaty grounds, which historically used to be the case. That's where the Crown used to go. 30 or 40 years ago. So I think that's helped bring about some change. They've yet to show that they can exert control, and by that I mean have a ceremony there which is befitting the pride New Zealanders have in their country. What I'd like to see at Waitangi is that thousands of New Zealanders see it as a place they should go to celebrate their National Day.
Well,
now, that's currently not the case.
If, though, the Prime Minister does speak on the marae, which seems to be what is being indicated at this stage, doesn't that show exactly that? Well,
look, as I said, I hope it all works. It hasn't in the time that I've been going there. It's all pretty much every time been marred by some kind of controversy. Just remember how the wider New Zealand has often seen this. They get a bit apprehensive, if not a bit bored, by the build-up to Waitangi Day and the unnecessary controversy around it. It would be much better if the build-up to our National Day was positive. They have the opportunity this year to show that that's what can be delivered for a country that should be proud of its history and wants to be.
So you boycotting going to Waitangi has brought about this positive change?
Well, last year our decision not to go, I think, did prompt the people up there to realise that New Zealanders want something of the dignity and status that befits our history.
And by not going this year, you're then allowing Jacinda Ardern to reap the rewards.
Well, let's see what happens. Last year I went to Arake in Bastion Point in Auckland, had a great day. It was positive, it was dignified, it touched on the controversial history there. It happens this year. It suits me to go elsewhere. So look, I hope it works, because what's more important here than National or Labour is that New Zealand has a day they can be proud of. Let's hope the authorities and the elders in Waitangi can present that to us this year.
What about Rātana? Are you going to be speaking in te reo again?
Well, I'd imagine I will. On public Māori occasions, I do.
Okay. What about this question of te reo and you describing it as someone else's language? Why use it?
Well, it's a language of New Zealand. The point we were making there,
but does that mean it's someone else's, or does that mean that it is actually?
It basically belongs to Māori, and what will save it is Māori, primarily Māori speaking it. If they don't speak it in their homes, you can't make bureaucrats speak it in their offices. And I think it's such an obvious point, it's time someone said it, that it is Māori culture. It's not my culture directly, but it's part of New Zealand culture. It's why I use it as a show of respect more than any other political leader. So the criticism that somehow I'm closed-minded about it, I think, was way off the mark. But it does depend on the communities and families owning it and speaking it. And so actually I'm optimistic about it. I meet many young Māori now who are completely bicultural, bilingual, fantastic, confident young New Zealanders.
Okay, so just very briefly then, the front bench of National, lots of people beginning to say that it's time for a reshuffle, it's time for a refresh. How long are you going to be the leader?
Oh, well, as the caucus has clearly indicated, as long as I want to be.
Okay, and so what does that mean?
Oh, what it means is we're getting back together in the next few weeks. We'll be planning out the whole year, and we've got plenty of energy and
anticipating
aspiration.
Changes to the front bench, particularly time to bring on the new talent and generational change.
Well, look, it's only 3 or 4 months since the election. Teams just getting into the mode of opposition.
Thank you very much for your time, Bill English. There, the opposition leader of the National Party. It's now 8:45.
And you're listening to Morning Report with Susie Ferguson and Guy and Espiner. Let's move on now to a case in Australia where more than 29,000 Australians are demanding that a New Zealand man be deported after he avoided jail time for a one-punch attack on another man. It's a crime that carries a very harsh penalty in Queensland, but Caleb Maraku was not even convicted for this attack in Surfers Paradise last year. Tom Furley